It's called Superstar Tuesday. Do you realize everything in my show today, I have ordered. So Wayne, if you're out there who always says, oh, you don't order all that stuff, I have ordered everything in the show. I am on reorder with several things in the show. And this is, I think, our best 2-hour show that we've done all season, maybe of the year, all right? Why? Because we have such great stuff. So we have our today's special, which is coming up from Thea, the world's greatest olive oil on the planet. It's unbelievable. But Mama DePandy, they're going to be Skyping in today. So we have Juliana, and I think her husband Bill might be joining us as well. And we want to show you the sauce. I just ordered another 2 bottles of the Pomodoro. It comes in Pomodoro, or it comes in the Arrabbiata. The Arrabbiata has the Calabrian chilies. It's got a little bit of spice to it. I like the Pomodoro, but you're gonna get 2 of these. It is incredible. It is all the best ingredients, and there's only 5, right? All the great stuff, the tomatoes and the cheese and the oil, all the basil, wonderful stuff, all right? That is coming up, and here's what I'd do. I would buy the bucatini pasta. This sold out the last time we had it on air. It comes in a 3-pack. If you've never had bucatini and you have kids or grandkids or old kids or a husband or a wife or a partner, this to me is the greatest pasta on the planet. It's another superstar. It is a tube-shaped pasta, but it's long and it's amazing. It tastes incredible. You will love it. You get 3 boxes of those, and then later on, we've got my favorite meatball that we carry here at HSN. Unbelievable. Listen, I've made meatballs for years. These are 100 times better than mine. And I'm telling you, I worked in an Italian restaurant for 20 years. These are the greatest meatballs, and we have them back with Juliana coming up a little bit later. But as I said before, our best value of the day, I'm so glad they finally made it one. Here's the deal. We couldn't because they couldn't make enough for us. They finally were able to. It's already 65% sold out. It's Thea olive oil, the world's greatest olive oil. Here we go. So I've ordered it not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. I counted 6 times I have ordered this. And don't forget, I live alone, and I love this olive oil. Why? Well, first of all, I'm not alone. It's a huge customer pick. The last time I checked, over 100 5-star reviews out of 120 something. Everybody loves it. It has the most incredible bouquet, and any dish that you put it on, it will elevate. Be it a salad, be it a marinade, as just a dip. Put it in your bruschetta, right? It is always a sellout. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, even desserts and dressings. You can use this stuff anywhere. Now, all that is really good news. The bad news is we had it on auto ship. That already sold out. We've already gone through, Rob, how many it says there? I can't, 7,000. I've got about 5,000 left, and we haven't even hit prime time yet. So if you want this stuff, and you've heard about it, or you've read about it, or you read the reviews, and you want, as I say, hands down, the best olive oil on this planet, it is a superstar. We've got it for you. The amazing Stephanie Roberts is here, and she's going to take you on a tour of why this is so special. But realistically, Stephanie, it starts with the olives and the family that grows them, harvests them, and presses them.
If you want great food, use great ingredients. Every chef will tell you that, so that is what we're doing, and it starts with a great farm. So this is Thea olive oil. It is what's called a single-sourced olive oil, which means one type of olive. And it isn't just any olive, it is the best of the best. It is the queen of the olives, known as the Korniecki olive. So what you're seeing here is the family farm in the south of Greece, where they hand-pick, hand-sort their olives. Actually, how they do it's really cool. They shake the tree, it goes down to a net. They literally pick through the net and pick the best ones. Then they cold press them, so that means there's no heat. It takes away none of the flavor, none of the nutrients, adds no chemicals. Then you see it being carefully bottled and shipped. Couple of things to point out here. The bottle is dark glass and beautiful. The reason it's important that it's dark glass is because you don't want the air, any oxygen, any heat, any moisture to get to the olive oil, because that degrades from its goodness. I love the fact that there's art on the front. And because this is only harvested once every year, November, December-ish, depending on the way the temperatures go that year, this is this year's harvest. It was pressed and bottled for us. It came across the pond, and it came right here to HSN. So it never sits in a warehouse waiting for you to order. It came right from them to us. Now we're taking it right from us to you. So when it gets to you, it is the freshest harvest. It is the best of the best. And you can't believe the difference in flavor. And I always like for you to talk about the bread first.
I will. And we've got like a little dip here in bread. I like to put it on hummus.
You like the hummus?
I love it on hummus. But I want to taste it because, you know, I haven't tasted it on its own in a while because I use it with so many different things. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the end there. And this is really the way that you can taste the bouquet of this.
Right.
I mean, honestly, when you bite into it, it literally fills your entire mouth with like this floral, really great vegetal, wonderful floral aromas in your mouth. And as you're tasting it, you can almost taste it through your nose. It is that amazing. And it, honestly, you can put it on anything.
Absolutely.
I think it's really special, so I don't usually use it to cook, and you always yell at me for that.
I do, because just turn the temperature down.
Well, no, the reason I don't is because I want to save it. I love it so much. But now I'm like, you know what? I just order it again and again and again.
Exactly.
But even if you just use it to saute shrimp, that entire dish will have a different flavor than if you used regular olive oil or if you used any other. By the way, don't use it. The only other oil I would use for cooking might be avocado. The rest of them,
no.
This one is at the top of the list. And don't forget, guys, these 2 bottles, they're jumbo bottles.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're going to last you a while, I hope. Although I know in reality they probably won't. They'll probably go very, very quickly. I love that they put it in the dark jar because, you know, things like heat and light affect the flavor of an olive oil, so they know that. The family that runs this, we are pestering them constantly.
We are.
Make more, and they're like, we only have so many olives.
Exactly.
And so when we get it in, especially as a today's special, it truly is very, very special.
It took 5 years.
I know
it took
it did.
5
I've
years
been
to
here.
get this
I've been
today's
waiting.
special. I know, and the reason is exactly what you think. This is a small family farm. It is run by a father and daughter, and you know what? They can only do so much. They care more about the quality than the quantity, and those are exactly the type of farms and businesses that I love to support. So I know Guy says he thinks it's too precious to saute with. I disagree. I saute with it all the time.
You know I've done it before.
I know you gave in. After I gave you a hard time.
Well, you know what I've done with it? I've done this exact dish, but I also will put scallops in there.
Oh, heck yeah.
And all you need to do with that, if you say, well, I don't know how to cook. Here's a very simple recipe. After you've browned up your shrimp like that, okay? Add some capers, all right? Squeeze a lemon, all right? And then put it over some pasta with a little more of that olive oil, and then just add a little of your favorite cheese, whatever it is, and you have made a dinner that you would spend a fortune in a restaurant. But you did it yourself.
Exactly.
And the key is a lot of restaurants will use very good ingredients, but only to finish with. So to your point, when you own it, you can do whatever you want with it.
Actually,
you can drink it right out of the bottle.
And you can, because it's that smooth. I do get asked the question a lot because you are getting 2 25-ounce bottles. At first, you're like, what am I going to do with all that olive oil? I want you to think of all the amazing ways you can use it. What you're about to do right now, I love it. So, even if you don't make your own hummus, you can cheat sometimes and buy that store-bought hummus.
Watch this.
But do this. Top it with the best olive oil, and suddenly that hummus has a depth of flavor. I know, I'm a hummus girl too. I could eat that whole bowl.
All right, and
then you go right on in there.
Right in, and remember, this is good, and good for you as well. That's a big bite.
That is a big bite. So I'll take over while I let you chew that. You love that? I know.
You know what I do? I buy the lemon hummus.
Oh yes, I love the lemon hummus.
And I put the on top.
Yep.
That stuff, because I put it out for get-togethers.
Yep.
It never lasts.
Right.
Everybody's like, what's the difference? Why is that hummus so good? I'm like, it's olive oil.
It's what you put on top.
And that's what they do. The Greeks have been doing that. Spanish do that, right? They add olive oil to everything.
Absolutely,
and
because you're
and they live longer than everybody.
You're changing the flavor profile. So this is a very simple dinner. I just took a bed of pasta. You saw me sauteing the shrimp, and I did it in the Thea olive oil. Now all I'm going to do is take some fresh lemon, get a little kick of the acid, the fresh juice, and then suddenly with literally 4 ingredients, I've created a restaurant-worthy dinner. Because one special ingredient makes the difference. You don't have to be a fabulous cook, but you can saute a little meat, you can boil some pasta,
look at that.
and you top it with this. Look at this is kind of the crowning top to whatever you cook.
Look at how beautiful that is.
And
You know, it's funny,
so
I just watched a movie called Defending Your Life with Albert Brooks. It's a great movie. Meryl Streep's in it. And he goes to a restaurant and he orders pasta, or they order pasta, and he gets shrimp and she gets the pasta. And every time I watch it, I think of you guys, because I'm like, you know what would be good on that? The olive oil.
exactly.
And literally, you put this down on the table, okay? And remember, shelf life on this is?
This harvest, these bottles, December 2026. So the fact that we lost the auto ship is okay. You've got all this year and all next year. So buy a couple sets because we don't know when they come back.
It'll never last.
Yeah,
Trust
no,
me.
I agree. You just start
because
using
it is very addictive. And the nice thing is, unlike a lot of traditional fats that are out there, this is not one you have to feel guilty about.
Oh,
all right?
not
This
at
has
all.
been part of the Mediterranean diet forever, okay? Really good olive oil, very good for you. It's got all the good stuff that you want in there, none of that bad stuff. It's not a processed oil, and it's not a blended oil. You know, the worst thing on the planet for you to really put in your body, and you can ask most health experts out there, is any kind of a blended oil.
Yes.
Because it is highly processed, and that oil stays in your body for a long time. People think it just goes right out. It stays with you.
And that's why the single source, the one type of olive is so important. And I know then you're like, well, then what's wrong with grocery store olive oil? It's not single sourced, it's a mishmash. So you don't know what kind of quality you're getting. Here, you know the quality you're getting. Yeah. So I like it on grilled vegetables. This time of year, we're all antsy to get out on the grill. You don't have to do anything fancy. I toss them in it first, and then I drizzle when I serve. Little salt and pepper, and I'm done. It elevates a pizza. It is honestly, you know what it does to me? It saves things when I cook them. Like my kids are like, the grilled chicken's dry. Hey, I'll fix that. Just put a little drizzle on top and suddenly there's a depth of flavor. There's an added layer and it makes everything better. I know you're a pesto fan. Why would you buy fresh basil, spend money on pine nuts and Parmesan, and then put in garbage olive oil? I mean, you would be ruining all your other efforts. Use this and elevate it. And again, I'm not using a ton.
No, you don't need it.
A little tablespoon here, a little tablespoon there.
I got to remind everybody, 7,300 gone, okay? We're about 65% of the quantity gone for the day. We already sold out of auto ship. You want to get this home, we have it on FlexPay. It is free shipping and handling. It's the best price we've done because normally it's $59.95. And we only have so much wiggle room on this, okay, guys? Because we don't get a lot of it around. It's very, very special. We dropped the price, all right? That'll help cover your tax, and we're going to do free shipping. It'll be delivered to your house in a week or so. And let me tell you, you're off to the races. And I'm not telling you what to do. I'd get 2 orders of this because once it's gone, I never know when it's coming back.
Unfortunately, that's very true. Again, they just harvested, and we are now going to sell thousands.
You want me to try?
Have you tried this before?
I'm not sure if I've had it with you before, but I'm going to go in. So this is...
This is a high-end, nice vanilla bean ice cream. Again, good ingredients, topped with a drizzle of the olive oil. This is a mouth surprise. What happens to the sweet with the fat.
It's ramped up.
Isn't that cool?
You know what it is? It's more unctuous, if I may use that word.
I like that word.
That is, it's crazy.
That is a high-end dessert in the Mediterranean. It's just not our thing
because this olive oil has very fruity notes.
Yes.
It goes well with sweet.
It does.
All right, so you could even put this, I bet it would be delicious on prosciutto and melon.
Oh, it would be wonderful on melon.
How good would that be?
And I have a cake.
Even fresh strawberries, fresh berries, right? And people will be like, what is it about her berries? There's a little olive oil on there. And it changes the whole experience. I love this demo.
And here's what I love about it. Do you see how that olive oil is clinging to the side of the glass? Think about your food. Think about your mouth. It is luscious. The word in chemistry is viscous. It has viscosity.
It does.
Back to high school we go.
Yep.
And the reason that's important is because this is how it feels in your mouth. This is what it does to your food. It coats it, it feels luscious. You talked about the bouquet. We treat it like a glass of wine. You can sniff this, and you know what I smell? I smell that farm, and that's what you want to smell. And I mean the best of the farm.
You know what?
The fruit and grass notes.
Yeah, you can.
It's that fresh.
It's like all of a sudden it makes you an expert because you can actually smell it. You don't need to have a refined nose. You're like, wow, that smells like a farm. That smells grassy.
And
that
here's
smells
why. This is where it came from. It is hand-picked, cold-pressed, single-sourced olive oil. This is special. This is not something you're going to find on any grocery store shelf. There are very few places anywhere that carry it. So for us to be able to get it here and able to ship it to you is a true partnership with this family farm.
I love how it comes to you too. It comes packaged, but then it's in its own little grid of foam.
Yep, to be
safe. So it's very protected when it goes out to you. Everybody will get 2 of these, right? 2 of these jumbo bottles, and each one is 25. You're getting 4 pounds basically of olive oil, a little more than that. All you do, open it up, drizzle on whatever you want, you're good to go. So our flex pay on this is, I don't see it up there. What is it, Rob? Okay, 18. So you don't have to pay the whole thing out all at once if you don't want to. It's $18.32. Remember, you are getting free shipping. It is very giftable. In fact, I wrapped a box and gave it to Danny and Lily because Lily loves the olive oil, and so does Danny. Those are my kid and his girl. You will love it for that. So if you want to get it for Mother's Day, you want to get it for Father's Day, anything like that, anything you put it on is exponentially better.
Absolutely.
It has, as we said, it has that unctuous sort of melt in your mouth, and it does that to everything. You can put it on steak. You can put it on chicken. It loves seafood, all right? Anything you put it on. Hi, ladies. My eaters are here. My girlfriends are over there hanging out, and they're enjoying some of that olive oil. You would never think that olive oil on its own is so good as far as taste.
Or that it makes such a difference.
Right. Right, but it really does.
This
It's
is new
huge.
to us, though, by the way, and I'm excited because I know we've presented this many times together.
Right.
So we took a flank steak
Yeah.
and we marinated it. Listen, flank steaks are not the priciest cut of meat, and that's a good point because right now we're all trying to save money. Take a cheaper cut of meat, marinate it in something wonderful, let those fibers soften, get that richness in your mouth, and then we made a homemade chimichurri.
Right, we did a little chimichurri.
That
so you
chimichurri
can
to
see
me
right
is
there.
addicting.
Look at how beautiful that is, right? Colorful.
You see what your mouth thinks.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Right? I love that. I absolutely love it. It made a
And
huge difference in that
it
steak.
dresses up the steak because that steak actually, a flank steak inherently has a lot of flavor. It's just a little bit tough.
Usually tough,
because of
yes.
because it's a lean cut.
Yes.
But when you add the olive oil to it, it goes down so much easier.
I thought that was an amazing find. And the
delicious.
chimichurri is a win. That's my new thought for the week. Hey, we're getting into tomato and caprese season. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Listen, a caprese salad is so simple. As soon as you get good tomatoes, slice those up, pick out some Fred's mozzarella, and then all you do is the drizzle. And you're getting that smooth, rich, luscious drizzle. We're heading into party season with the showers and the grad parties and all the fun things. You're gonna make charcuterie boards. Put this out with some bread and treat your guests. Let them learn the beauty of a true good olive oil. You were talking about gifting. I gift this endlessly.
Well,
every girlfriend, every housewarming gift, always for Mother's Day. And here's what people always say. Oh, wow. I now can't go back to other olive oil.
You tainted the world.
Yes, and that's the way it should be, because guess what? When you really break it down, dollars and cents with this amount of olive oil, you're paying just over $1 an ounce. Your grocery store pretty much costs the same. But the quality is non-comparable.
I was just looking because I was buying avocado oil because I use it for frying and stuff like that, deep frying. And I was looking at the oils and I was like, gosh, oil is expensive. Like regular olive oil in a comparable bottle or avocado oil is $24, $25 a bottle.
Yes.
And it's not anything special. That's the store-bought brand.
Right.
All right? You can pay double if you want to pay more. So the value you're getting here for the quality that you're getting is way, way, way up there. So, and everybody that orders it, if you read the reviews, everybody is impressed by it. And honestly, I know you're looking, you're saying $54.95 for 2 bottles. Guys, it'll elevate anything. It changes so many different dishes. I actually had him put a bottle over by Mama Depende's sauce because I love her sauce, and the only thing I do at the end is I finish with a little bit of olive oil.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, you can do that. Italians will do that. And it takes her sauce, which is already the best sauce I've ever had, and it brings it even to another level. And don't be afraid to do that stuff. That's why we have this.
Right, and that's why we have it in 25-ounce jugs. So you can have a little here, you can have a little there, because you have a lot to work with. My number one use for it is, of course, a salad dressing. Try not to use bottled salad dressings because they're so easy to make from scratch. You need a fat. I'm using Thea olive oil. You need an acid. In this case, we've used lemon juice. We used a tiny bit of mustard, a little bit of salt and pepper and spice, and that is it. And instead of just oh yeah, there's a salad, I guess she was feeling lazy tonight. Now it's ooh, what a flavor explosion.
Yeah, what did
wow,
you do
that's
that?
good. And you know what? And you know what someone inevitably says, and they said it to me at Easter, what brand of dressing is that? I'm like, that would be the Thea brand, because that's what's making the difference. You can taste it, people notice.
It tastes good, you feel good when you're using it because you know you're using the best. And you know what I love about it too is, and I've said this to other guests and to you guys out there, is that to have the best of something, it usually costs you a fortune, right? If you want to get the best sports car, you're going to spend $1 million. Nobody can do that, right? But to be able to have the best olive oil at this price is attainable for most people out there. A lot of you are retired. A lot of you are like, you know what? Let's treat ourselves. It's something that's going to come back to us many times over with our friends, with our guests, and it's impressive. It really is. And I think for a lot of the people that are on the fence, they go, come on, it's olive oil. You have to try it. I'm a foodie. I was in the food business for 25 years before I even got into TV. I know food, and for me to be impressed by it, and I worked in an Italian restaurant, and let me tell you, we weren't using this.
No.
We were using the olive oil in the big jugs, you know, because we're a restaurant. This is a very fine product. I almost said refined, not refined, but a very fine product, and that's why I love it. I love it for everything, and I'm using it more to cook with. When I do a simple dish like scallops or shrimp, I love that because I love the flavor it imparts to the seafood. Use whatever you want, but you will absolutely love it.
And you're going to want to bake with it when you try this olive oil cake. Yeah, break that piece off or take the whole thing.
I have so much to eat today.
I know, I'm trying to give you just a little, but I know you've never tried that. Amanda made this with the Thea olive oil. I have never tasted a cake that is so luscious and moist and flavorful. Is that not incredible? Olive oil cake is trending right now, and I know why.
Pound cake on steroids.
It is.
That is crazy good.
Isn't that crazy good?
I should have eaten the bigger piece.
Yeah, so see, it's for everything. No matter how you choose to use it, you are adding a level of flavor and a level of quality that is unparalleled, and that's special, and we like to do special things.
Well, if you want to give it as a gift, look at how beautiful it is. It comes gift boxed, okay? Not with the bow, but you can always add one on there. Each one comes in its own, and each one will be in a sleeve to protect it during its shipping process. Get it home. Remember, you have a shelf life until December of next year.
Yes.
So you have over a year to be able to use it. Most of you will probably use it up in the first month or two because it's hard not to. Once you use it, you want to use it every day.
Well, and that's why I appreciate...
Even if you want to make an omelet, use that.
Absolutely. And when you read the reviews and when you listen to people who thought what we know you think, it's olive oil, is it really that big of a deal? It really is. And therefore, people keep looking for it and coming back for it. And, you know, we only grow so many olives. So we are thrilled to be able to continue to bring it to you. What's your favorite thing to drizzle it on, Guy?
You know what? What I use it most for is for hummus because we eat a lot of hummus in the house. Hummus? Yeah, because I like to get the carb-free tortillas, and that's just a great snack during the day.
It's a good snack. It'll fill you up.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. So I usually use it for that, but I have used it. I love it in seafood. I love it in shrimp. I love it in scallops. All right, I love it in any kind of a light dressing that you're making. Yep. I do the thing called chicad, which is where you break the olives down, take the pits out, hot seeds, fresh garlic, and then you put a little of the Thea on top, and you put that on bread.
And I'm more simple. I just like it on my steak.
I learned it from a very wise Italian lady. She's like, "You never had chicad?" I'm like, and then she showed me how to make it. I was like, "Well, it's basic."
Now you're addicted.
I put it on a piece of bread, and I'm like, "Okay, that's the greatest thing I've ever eaten." All right, Stephanie is going to come back. She's coming back in our next hour. We have another airing, if there are any left, but get it home while you can. Mama de Pande coming your way next.
I cannot run out of these products, so I'll let you in on a little secret. I have them on auto ship. It's the best way to stock up on all the items I love from HSN. Regular deliveries come on my schedule. For example, this comes every 90 days. But the stock shampoo comes a little more often. The best part is the price I paid is locked in. Auto ship. Get more of what you love when you need it.
It's Customer Appreciation Month, and it's all about you. For the entire month of April, we're showing the love to our HSN card VIPs with exclusive perks like VIP Thursdays. Get a special offer every Thursday in April, plus extra flex on every item under $369 all day, every day, or VIP financing on so many items. Not a card member? Apply now and instantly get $15 off when you're approved. Visit hsn.com/HSN card or call 1-800-695-1418 for details on our exclusive VIP offers. Thank you for being an HSN Card VIP.
Spend the day embracing all things stylishly bright and breezy for summer. Don't miss our 24-hour summer style sneak peek event all day Thursday.
Top top new and most loved brands, all an appreciation price for the day, Wednesdays, all month long.
You know, for years and years and years, I tried to find a jarred sauce that I really, really, really loved, but everyone that I would find, I would have to doctor. I'd either put, you know, a little sugar in it, or I had to put a little balsamic. I had to do this, I had to do that, until I found Mama Dependi. And I will tell you, to me, this is the perfect sauce. I was married years ago, and I had an pure, right off the boat Italian mother-in-law, and she would make a sauce very similar to this. And when talking to Mama Dependi and Juliana, and today she's got her husband Bill with her, when talking to them, they said exactly what she said, which is, it's simple, wonderful, delicious ingredients. That's all. And you don't need it. You don't need 30. You don't need to throw a bunch of salt. You don't need to throw a bunch of sugar in there. You don't have to do it. If you use really good ingredients to start off, you wind up with an incredible sauce. So before I introduce those guys, I want to show you what we're offering. And by the way, I just bought 2 more of the Pomodoro. It is my favorite. The Pomodoro is the traditional sauce. You can get 2 of those bottles for $39.99. It is on sale today. You can also go the Arrabbiata. The Arrabbiata has the Calabrian chilies, so it has a little bit of a spice to it. If you like that, good to go. Or if you want, you can get 1 of each. If you've never tried it before, that's a really good deal. Guys, this stuff is liquid gold. I also, the only thing I ever do once in a blue moon, because I like the Thea olive oil, our today's special, after I dress my plate, I'll put a little bit of Thea olive oil on top, and you're just through the roof. Let me introduce my special guest, Juliana Rancic, and her wonderful husband, Bill. We finally get to meet Bill.
This is my debut.
Hey, buddy.
Guy, I am so excited. You know, I've been wanting you to meet Bill for so long because you guys remind me of
I'm
each other.
a fan of Guy. I mean, you're the best. The
Bill,
best.
I know.
Bill and I, we worked for the same TV show many, many years ago, which is crazy. We both did iVillage years ago, which is so funny that we're back together. But it's wonderful to have you guys here on the show. Thank you both for those kind words. This sauce is magical. I've never tasted anything like it. And Bill, you may not know this, but I was in the restaurant business before I got into TV for like 18 years. Yep. And we made sauce, and it wasn't even as close as good as this is.
Yeah, you know, you're absolutely right. It's made with a lot of love, and the ingredients are everything. And as you said before, when you have the best ingredients, when they're sourced from local farms, right, we go above and beyond to make sure that what we put in this is the best, and it comes through. It's very simple, no sugar added. You don't need to do anything to doctor this sauce up, like you said. And if you just look inside, you can see the chunks of garlic, right? The hand-torn basil. This, you're not going to find this anywhere else. We've done blind taste tests, Guy, with the competitors. We win every time, hands down, with chefs. So there's nothing like it on the market. This is one of one. I think people are going to definitely fall in love with it the minute they taste it. And you can literally just eat it right out of the pan. I mean, it's that good.
You know what impresses me? Yeah, you know what really impresses me of it is, and I'll hold one of the jars, is the color of the sauce. I mean, honestly, when you look at this sauce, it is a deep, deep red, and that's from those beautiful tomatoes that go inside there, and all the other special ingredients. And when it comes out and you see it in a sauce, and we have it here in a couple of plates, and I will taste it. I like the Pomodoro just because that's me, but you can get whatever. If you've never had either, one just has a little bit of a spice. And I'm really glad they didn't heat that, because you can actually taste all those different herbs, all those wonderful things that are in there, or the very few that are in there. You can taste them all individually. It is a slam dunk. I named it one of my superstars of the Superstar Tuesday because I order this. In fact, I ordered it again before the show. I order this probably once a month. I order, and I live alone because I do a lot of things with red sauce, and I know I can always count on it. Juliana, when Mom is here, I love it because she's always feeding us the whole time, and this is like this is the star of her show.
I got to tell you, so a little bit of background on Mama. So Mom, you know, we're from Naples, Italy, and my mom is just the most incredible chef, right, Bill? I mean, she's just makes the most incredible Pomodoro. This is the first time we've ever jarred it, exclusively for the first time ever on HSN, which is super exciting. And a little background on us, you know, we own restaurants around the country, and Mama Dependi's Bucatini Pomodoro is our #1 bestseller. Nothing has ever beat it in the 14 years
Almost 15 years.
Almost 15 years that RPM Italian has been around. So finally, we have put it in a jar. And Guy, if you read the reviews, you'll see there's about 44 reviews were a huge customer pick, review after review saying how fresh this pasta sauce is, how people can eat it right out of the jar, that it doesn't have that artificial taste to it with preservatives and all this unnatural stuff and added sugars. 5 ingredients only in the Pomodoro, 6 ingredients because you have the addition of the Calabrian chili in the arrabbiata. So very exciting that we have it at a special price tonight for all of you to try for the first time.
Just look at that, guys. You can hold that up. You can see the hand-torn basil, right? There's nothing on the shelf where you go where you're going to find this. We don't use garlic powder. We use chunks of garlic cloves. You can see those, right? It is so different than anything else out there. You have to really try it to really understand what we're talking about. It's hard to verbalize until you're able to. I wish you had smell-o-vision right now.
Oh, my God.
It's really incredible.
And by the way, I just put it on the bucatini, and we have the bucatini in the show. This sold out the last time we were on the air. If you've ever not tried a bucatini noodle, it is one of the most, I'm trying to get some on my fork here. It is one of the most delicious pastas you will ever have. It's actually a hollow tubed pizza. It's our pizza, a pasta, and it's really, really long. I actually cut a few up so I could get it, but literally it's like 2 feet long when you eat it.
Yes, and it's coming up as you eat it. It is coming up. It's fresh, delicious.
It's my favorite pasta on the planet.
Oh, I'm so glad you love it. So,
I told you last time you were here that I was a big rigatoni fan. But rigatoni, this blows away rigatoni. Just the way that the mouthfeel that it has. I'm not surprised it's the #1 seller in your restaurant. I would order that every time.
Well, the bucatini noodle helps absorb the sauce. So you're really able to get the full flavor of the sauce and the noodle together. And we think it's an amazing combination. 15 years, we've been selling out of it almost every night at all the RPM restaurants around the country. Inspired by Juliana's mom and grandma, and we're just thrilled that we have it on the menu.
And that's what I was going to say, Guy. The reason we created this, and Bill and I helped my mom really put this in a jar, put her signature sauce in a jar, because night after night, people would ask us in the restaurants, how can I bring Mama DePandi's sauce home? And so we're so excited that we are here on HSN. This is where we exclusively debuted Mama DePandi's. So we're so thrilled that everyone's been loving it and that we have it back tonight in stock.
Mamma mia.
I love it. I'm going to put a little on the meatballs right here while you're watching. There you go. I mean, and this is where you can really see the color of this sauce. And remember, very simple ingredients. We're talking about plum tomatoes, all right? Wonderful Italian plum tomatoes. We're talking about fresh garlic, fresh basil, extra virgin olive oil, and just a pinch of salt. And that is all that is in there. That is what sauce is. That is what sauce is supposed to look like. It's funny, Bill, because like I said, when I was married, I miss my Italian mother-in-law. She was a wonderful lady, but I would sit there and watch her make everything from scratch. And one of the things I was impressed with, it was the same thing. I'd be like, and I called her Mama too. I was like, Mama, that's all you're putting in there? She goes, you don't mess with a good thing. And I'd be like, well, what goes in? She goes, you got to have the right tomatoes. You got to know how to season properly. You got to use the fresh garlic, all those things. And you guys do the exact same thing. And I always said, I wish my mother-in-law could have bottled her sauce until I had Mama DePandi's. And now it's there. And let me tell you, it is worth every penny. If you read the reviews, everybody that opens it up, they're like, and a lot of those are from Italian people, right? That are like, they know they love this sauce. It's not a overly sweet sauce. It's not a spicy. It's a little spicy if you get the arrabbiata, but very minimally. So if you don't like hot food, you probably still like that because it's just a little bit of those chilies in there. I like the Pomodoro because I use it for so many different things. I use it when I use your meatballs, which, by the way, I'm almost out of, so I may have to order some more of those today. I love chicken parm. That's one of my favorite things. I know
I love chicken parm.
Dude, what guy or gal doesn't love chicken parm, right? I don't want to know you if you don't like chicken parm. But I also do like once or twice a year I'll do lasagna. The best sauce ever in a lasagna. I mean, I look forward to it because lasagna is a kind of a laborious thing to make. But when the sauce is already done, the rest is easy. Then you're just layering stuff.
Well, yeah, Guy, and it's very versatile. Meatballs, pasta, as you mentioned, lasagna, and it's a great, healthy pasta sauce that your whole family can enjoy.
Get it before we sell out.
Well, we're selling out of all of them, and Juliana knows whenever she's here, we always sell this stuff out. I wanted to give you a reminder. I'm not going to show it yet, but we do have. Don't we have the creme brulee, Rob? Or is it it's the creme brulee? All right, we do have the creme brulee, but I have like 30 orders of creme brulee where I think you get a dozen of them. It's a great thing. All right, Juliana and Bill, we're going to move on to the spices. A lot of people discount the importance of getting really good, fresh, quality spices. The first time we aired this, it almost sold out, and I was shocked. I was like, really? People really wanted to buy the spices? These are wonderful, and you're getting a 3-pack. You're getting what's called garlic gusto, which is a garlic-infused sea salt. Wonderful on pizza, wonderful on anything on bread with olive oil. You would love that. You're also getting that's amoro, which is your traditional Italian seasoning. And then finally, you're getting Mama's pesto blend, which is called pesto perfecto. We're not going to spend a lot of time. I'll just let you guys talk to each one.
Okay, first and foremost, you have to understand why we created this set. Mama said to me, Juliana, I want people to have the essentials. I want them to have what I have in my kitchen, right in the front of right near the stove where I cook. The 3 essentials. So this is what we created for Mama. So she wanted to have, first and foremost, her That's Amore. So that has like all your oregano. It's just like your, think about your classic Italian seasoning, okay? And then garlic gusto, which is absolutely delicious, garlic sea salt. And then the pesto perfetto, which has your basil and has that great pesto kick to it, guys. So they're nice big sizes on these as well. And they're really the essential for that perfect Italian kitchen.
Yeah, and by the way, my producer, wonderful Rob, is producing me today, tells me there's less than 400 of these. If you want to get them, you know, it's funny because it's an art form. It really is an art form to learn how to season. I remember Emeril years ago, you know, he was the one that coined it. He said, you know, I don't know where you come from, but where I come from, the food doesn't come seasoned. You need to season it. That's what you know, the Mediterraneans, the Europeans have always been, the French have been very, very good at, not totally over seasoning, but knowing the right things. And I think a lot of people who are just basic cooks don't understand what goes with what. And having these, because it explains everything on the jar, it's a really great addition to your pantry to be able to say, oh, I've got the perfect thing for that. Like when I was a kid, we would always put, you know, garlic powder or garlic salt on our pizza. We love that. And you get one of those. When my mom would make her own meatballs, she wasn't Italian, her meatballs were not bad, but she would use, you know, Italian seasoning. This is the top of the line Italian seasoning. And then if you want to add pesto, that pesto would be good on anything. Like with our today's special with the Thea olive oil, you could sprinkle a little of that on with your shrimp, and man, you would be good to go. 350 to go around for everybody. This gets, I don't know, it's funny because it gets snatched up every time, Juliana.
Yeah.
No, you're right. And think about like a simple fish, like a nice grilled fish that you cook at home. Let's say you're trying to be healthier. Sprinkle some of this on, because the grilled fish on its own, like a grilled whitefish, it's a little bland. So this really gives you that extra taste without the calories and all that, added nonsense. So seasonings are great. If you don't already use seasonings a lot in your cooking, you got to start, because it's a great way to add taste in such a simple way.
Well, and it's about the right seasonings, right? And we spared no expense finding the ingredients. We searched the globe. We found some of the best farmers. We literally spared no expense. And if you like the pasta sauce, you understand the quality that went into this. The same goes into the seasoning. So, we believe in investing in the product and making sure that we over-deliver for the customers.
And they're from Europe, so from the Mediterranean coastline. So you're really getting the finest European seasonings.
It's all very authentic. And, and that's the one word that you can say, especially when your mom is here. She's about as authentic, both of you are, all you guys are, but she is so authentic with her accent, and she's so sweet. She's always cleaning me when I drool all over myself, and God love her for that. But that's very emblematic of how she is and how you guys are as a company, is that you care. It's not just about putting a product in and making as much money as you can. It's about creating a really good product, and more often than not, really, really good stuff is a little more expensive. I'm one of those people, and I've said this to Juliana, I have no issue paying for something if it's worth it. If something is the best and I can afford it, I buy it, because I'm feeding my family, I'm feeding myself, you're feeding guests and friends. You don't cheap out when it comes to food, all right? If you want to cheap out on something else, on paper towels, that's fine with me, I get it. But when you're going to be putting it in your body, you want to get the best you can. And this woman, Mama DePandi, cares so much about her family that she made the best ingredients, and it was so dang good that we now have the ability to be able to sell it. All right, if you want auto ship, I think that's going to go very, very quickly. I don't even know if I have any of that left, but get these home. You get all three Yeah, 90 left in auto ship, all 3 for $27.95. All right, you guys may not know, but I've got a handful of creme brulee left. I just want to give you a little tease. I have 80 sets. You get 8 creme brulee. You want to talk about something that's hard to make? First of all, have you ever tried to make creme brulee yourself? Nobody does, unless you're a chef. You don't want to do it. You got eggs, they could curdle, you got cream, all that, vanilla. And then you got to fire it up. You got to put sugar on there. You have to have a torch. No, you don't. You order this, you get 8 of them. And let me tell you, I just went to a restaurant downtown St. Pete, and I got a creme brulee to split with the person I was with. And the creme brulee was $21.95, and it was worth every penny. You're getting 8 of these for $89.95. It's a steal. I will let you know when it sells out. All right, we're going to talk more about that a little bit later, but I'm going to move on. I'm actually going to leave my card over there with that. We're going to move on. Sorry, I'm running out of the shop. And we're going to go over to I told you, this is all superstars. So this is called bucatini. I'm not sure what the Italian meaning of it is, but I'm sure you guys might. But I will just tell you, it's my favorite pasta to eat. It's actually a pasta that's fun to eat because of the way it feels in your mouth. It's not a big noodle. It is a long, thin, hollow noodle. It holds the sauce incredibly. It is very filling. So you're getting 3 jumbo boxes of this, 12 ounce each. That's 36 ounces of pasta. And it is, like I said, it's a filling pasta, but it is so good, the way it holds the sauce. And these guys make this. Look at, you can see Mama DePandi right on the label. And this is the real deal. You're getting all 3 for $44.95, fresh frozen, small batch, artisanally made, and you got to try it. It's amazing. Go ahead, you guys talk about it. I love this
You're
stuff.
making me hungry, Guy. Oh, my goodness.
So,
I'm telling you, Bill.
It's so good.
Wow.
I know. So you guys are like, by the way, you're like my mom's dream because she loves feeding people, and you guys so appreciate her food. So bucatini noodles are the best. So here's the story with the bucatini, in case you missed it when we first came on. So we have restaurants around the country, and our #1 best-selling dish is Mama DePandi's bucatini pomodoro. So it's our pomodoro sauce with this amazing thick noodle. And I think what's so great about this pasta is that it's very, very unique. Not, it's very hard to find. So I think that's what's really interesting about this offering, Guy, is it's not like you can just find this like you find like readily available like spaghetti or rigatoni. So I love that we're offering this. It is hard to find bucatini, especially fresh bucatini.
It is so good.
And it is delicious.
Wow.
By the way, your grandkids will love it. Your kids, it's my son, who's 12, his favorite pasta.
I don't, listen. If I had this in my house, my son would steal it every time he came over because he steals a lot of food and brings it over to his girlfriends. But I love it. I'm going to put it in, and when you see it, it'll be frozen, okay? All you got to do is pop it in the water. And it does not, since it's already par cooked, it does not take a long time to cook. And the last thing you want to do is overcook pasta. I did that by mistake the other night, and I was very upset with myself, and I threw it in the garbage because I refuse to eat mushy pasta. But you want to get in and you want to agitate it. And what you'll notice is that you can tell it's homemade. Look at how long the strands are. The strands are incredibly long. And again, it is a pasta where you can use it as an appetizer, like if you wanted to give a meatball and a little taste of bucatini, make a little circle out of the pasta, put a meatball on top, you could do that. But I don't know what it is, you guys, but every time we would bring this into the restaurant, because we used to get our pasta from New York City when I was working in Connecticut at the restaurant, and every time we had bucatini, sold out. Every single night, I'd be like, why don't we buy more of this? And the guy'd be like, the guy only gave me like 6 boxes. That's all he'll give me, because it's a very popular pasta for Italians as well. But I don't know, there's just something about it, right? It's hollow, like a ziti or like a rigatoni, but it's long and thin, and it is spectacular.
Yeah, and that hollow nature allows the pasta to really absorb to it, and it also isn't like totally flat. It has some texture on that long noodle. So what's nice about that is that the pasta really attaches to it. So you really taste that, freshness of the pomodoro sauce or whatever sauce you are making with the bucatini. But I have to believe that bucatini is one of the fastest rising pastas in popularity because people just absolutely love it, and not a lot of people were familiar with it, you know, a few years ago. So I remember when we first put it on the menu at our restaurant, people they didn't even know how to pronounce it. They were like, "What is this?" And now it's become so popular. And here, look at how delicious that is. That is a great shot, you guys. It is such a great, thick, hearty noodle. You are going to love it. It's going to be a fan favorite in your house.
Oh, I had a bowl of it that was hot, and I'm trying to locate it. There it is. Is that it? No, I actually need the bowl of that I had in the last setup because it's got hot pasta. I don't want. This one's been sitting a little bit. I don't think I really want to eat cold bucatini.
Don't waste your time.
I'm not going to do it. I would be doing the bucatini a disservice. They're going to bring it out for me. But honestly, if you have kids or grandkids and they've never tried it, be prepared. They will never eat another pasta. They'll be like, this is the only pasta I ever want to eat. It is that delightful to eat. It is. It really is. It's like a delightful pasta to eat. It's so unusual.
It is.
Our son Duke, he mows this down. I mean, you would think that we hadn't fed the guy in a month. When we make the bucatini pomodoro, he'll have 2 or 3 bowls just in one sitting. I mean, it's incredible to see, and I do as well. I got to be honest with you guys.
And my son, you know, listen, Guy, you know I don't hide it. Mama DePandy is the real chef in the family. What do you always say about me?
It was a generational skipping trait.
It happens.
So,
as
long
long
as
as
Juliana
hey,
has not made me a home-cooked meal since we've been married.
But there's my mom there.
20 years, Guy. 20 years.
My mom and I on the right, and there we are on our balcony in Naples. That's my childhood home that we still have, and it's actually where my mom is right now with my dad. So they're in Italy, finding us more amazing offerings in the Mama DePandy food line. But I'll tell you, like, it's kind of crazy. You know, when Duke has it, you know, it's funny. It's the one thing I make at home that my son does love and acts like I'm Mama DePandy. So yeah, Mama's just the best. This is her most popular dish, this bucatini pomodoro. And I'm so excited for everyone to try it. And by the way, it arrives frozen. You can just put it in your freezer. When you're ready to use it, go ahead and use it. So you're gonna get the freshest bucatini you can imagine.
Yep.
It's
like coming into one of the RPM restaurants. If you can't come into our restaurants, this is the next best thing. You're getting restaurant quality food at home, and it's very easy to prepare.
And you're getting it at a great price because believe me, if you bought even if you just got bucatini with their you know their #1 dish, that's probably half the price, okay, of what we're offering, and you get several meals with this. We're doing a 3-pack. It's going quickly. If you want to try it, if you've never tried bucatini before, sorry, it's a little bit lit weird there. There you go. A little bit better. We will give you all 3. They will arrive frozen. All you do is take them out and you can put them right in a pan of boiling water. I would say maybe 6, 7, 8 minutes. You can test it. You should always test your pasta anyway. You'll be good to go. $44.95 worth every penny. All right. This is my best bite. Surprise. It's meatballs. You knew it would be. Why? Because Mama DePandy makes the best meatballs ever. Now, I have tried to make meatballs for years. I'm not Italian, even though I'm dark and kind of look Italian, but I'm Yugoslavian and a bunch of other things. But I will tell you, the Italian gene missed me. I make okay meatballs. Sometimes they're a little tough, sometimes they're not. You know, they're fall apart. I've tried to figure out the egg ratio, all that stuff. And then about, I don't know what it was, a year or so ago when we launched, I had one of their meatballs. And I was like, this is what a meatball should taste like. It is juicy. It is tender, yet firm enough to hold in your sauce, okay? And it absorbs the flavor of the sauce. What I would do, here's what I do, and I told this to Juliana last time she was here with Mama. I said, I take a half dozen meatballs and I put them in a saucepan. I add a little bit of olive oil just to warm them up a little bit. That's right out of the freezer. And then I take Mama DePandy's pomodoro sauce and I dump it on top. I put the lid on. I let it sit for like 30 minutes. And the meatballs will absorb the sauce. Guys, these meatballs are ridiculous. So, $79.90. They put them on sale. I don't know how. You're getting 4 pounds. So you're getting 4 1-pound bags, which is nice because you can take them right out of the freezer and get them, and you'll be good to go and enjoy the meatballs. I wanted to show them to you naked so you can see all the spices and everything that's on the outside. But I also have some in here. They're already cooked. I'll let you guys go, whoever wants to talk first. What do you love and why are your meatballs so incredible?
I love how juicy they are, and all of ours are in the sauce. So if you could pick one of those up and break it in half, you can actually see how juicy they are, right? How fresh they are. It's restaurant caliber meatballs at home, very easy to cook. They will blow away anything you'll buy in the grocery store. I promise you that. Look at that. Thank you, Guy.
Look at this.
Look at that.
Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. And yet, They hold. You can tell they hold because I don't like meatballs that break apart in the sauce.
Right.
They hold in
Right.
the sauce until you're ready to look at them. Oh, man, those are hot.
Oh my gosh.
All right, I got a little taste. I got to taste it.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same, Guy. So you can direct the next question to Juliana because I'll be chewing.
Juliana,
I don't know how. Yes.
tell me how do you make them? What do you use inside? Because I don't have any of the ingredients today.
Yeah, there's a little bit of cheese. Let me tell you something. First of all, I think the most important thing you need to know about these is the quality. You know, we have one of our restaurants is RPM Steak, okay? And so we take so much, and RPM Seafood too, but we take so much pride in where we source our meats and the farms. We always tell these great family farm stories. So I think the first place you need to really start is the quality. And these are incredible quality. You're going to taste it when you get them home. They're so delicious. And the other nice thing, too, about these, Guy, is that these are not sitting in a freezer in a warehouse for 6 months, and then you order them, and then they come to you, okay? Or then they finally go to a store in a truck after a couple of weeks. These are going to be actually sent out. You're going to order them, and then we make them and send them out to you, and frozen, and then you can just take them out of your refrigerator, or I'm sorry, of your freezer, whenever you want to make them. So just even if you do one at a time or two at a time, these are going to last you a long time.
Well, and I think it's really important for people to understand where their food comes from these days, right? And we are sourcing out some of the best ranchers that you can find, not only in America, but in Australia. We're searching the globe, and we're bringing this right to your home. So, you know, when you come to our restaurant, the meatballs are going to taste just like the meatballs in this pan.
Yeah. I mean, and this is the God's honest truth. And again, I said, I talk about my ex-mother-in-law, the wonderful lady. This reminds me of hers. It really does. Because I remember saying, I'd say to her, I'd be like, Mama, how do you get them that perfect texture? I said, like my meatballs taste good, but either they're really, really soft and they fall apart in the sauce, or they're really, really tough. And she would give me the whole thing about, well, how many eggs are you using, all blah, 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 blah. And I was always amazed that hers, the consistency were always there. I think the reason that mine aren't as good as I'm not Italian, right? Maybe that's it. Or
Slavian, close enough.
Yeah, I know, or two, you know, I'm just not
brothers.
Her. Yes, exactly. It used to be Jovanovic a million years ago.
I'm Croatian.
I know, isn't that funny? I think I'm Serbian, so it's all good. But we didn't get that Italian gene, but thank God somebody did, because these are ridiculous. I also love the way you guys package them, because they come in 4 1-pound bags. So the nice part is if you're late, you know, and you want to make spaghetti and meatballs for the kids, you know what, out of luck, because you're not going to make meatballs last minute. Bill, what's nice about these, you just take them out of the freezer, put them in the sauce. That's it.
It's as easy as it gets.
And you see the parsley in them, the onion, the Parmesan cheese, the Romano cheese. So, I mean, you know, everything about them, the ingredients are very, very fresh. Then they're a nice size, too, Guy. I don't know if you noticed. You know, Guy, normally, Guy, you know, we've presented meatballs actually that are like a party size. These are bigger these are a nice big size, these meatballs.
Thank you.
I'm cheesing up the girls over here.
Wow.
That's
the restaurateur in you.
That's right. I'm like, that's like I'm an Italian mother-in-law. I can't stand to see these poor girls without cheese. So I'm Parmesan cheesing their pasta over there. They're eating the bucatini, by the way. How do you like that bucatini? Isn't it good? Isn't it so good, right? I know it's crazy. Anyway, I could just eat this cheese. I'm a cheese guy too, but
me too.
Anyway, get the meatballs, and we've prepared them in a couple of different ways. You can obviously do them with pasta. I come from Connecticut, so this is called a meatball grinder, where I come from. What do you guys call it?
Meatball sandwich here in Chicago.
Yeah, okay.
You know, grinder sandwich, hoagie.
Hoagie?
Yeah, sure.
It's the only reason I asked that is because when I came down here and I ordered a meatball grinder, the guy looked at me like I was asking him for money. He's like, what is a grinder? I'm like, I don't know. That's what we called them when we were kids. It's a New England thing, I guess. But you can make grinders. You can slice them up, put them on pizza. If you're on a high-protein diet, you can eliminate the pasta and just have them with the sauce, because the sauce, if you look at the fat content and the calories in the sauce, you can have pasta, or you can have it with meat and just get some of the. I mean, they have the low carb pasta if you really need to do that, but the meatball is where it all starts out. And you could tell. And I'm gonna pull one out. I'm just gonna take one out, and I'm not even gonna take this one out of the of the sauce, because what I wanted you to see, and these are cold, but I wanted you to look, because not many people will show you a cold meatball, but I will. Look at all the cheese and the spices and the garlic, everything, you can see it right there, all right? It's the same that's in here. The only difference is that this one, I heated up, right? And there, you know, 2 meatballs is good for a meal. Even for me, I rarely eat more than two meatballs, and you are getting 4 1-pound bags. And I don't know how many we put out here, Kat. Do you know how many? This is probably half of them. Might be all of them, I don't know, but that's a lot of meatballs. And if you were gonna make these yourself, you would never get this kind of quality. And the ease of just out of the freezer, into the sauce, you're eating in 15 minutes.
And, you know, Guy, I want to mention, too, think about your refrigerator at home right now or your freezer at home right now. You probably have a lot of go-to things that are like carbs or desserts or cereal even, right? But how much easy go-to protein do you have? And we all need great protein. So for me, that was a big deal. Having these in my freezer at all times is a big deal because I feel like I was always struggling before to find protein last minute for my son, like when he and his buddies come over. You know, what am I giving them for protein? Yeah, I can make them pasta very easily, and yeah, I can give them dessert. But I needed to be able to make a quick and easy protein, and this is right there, frozen, cooked, they're ready to go. Like, you just heat them up, and you're good to go. So I love that this is just a very, very easy protein to have in your freezer.
Well, high quality easy protein,
Yes.
which is a big difference.
Have
Yeah,
you
but
guys?
you know what I mean, like easy to reach for.
Yes,
I
very easy.
have to be honest with you. Many, many years ago, before we carried meatballs like this here, I went to our store here is called Publix, and it's a really good department, our grocery store. Everybody knows about it. Very good. Their bakery is ridiculous. But I bought, and not their brand, I bought in a bag mini Italian meatballs in a bag. I got them home. Absolutely one of the worst things I've ever put in my mouth. It was it was like all they did is they took oregano and like whatever they did and dumped it in, put some garlic powder in there, and they were hard as a rock. And I actually wound up throwing them away because I was like, what are you doing? You know, you come from a restaurant background. Why are you buying frozen meatballs? It was the convenience, because meatballs are a pain in the you-know-what to make. You got to get the ground beef. You get some people blend with pork. Then you got to know all the ingredients. You know, am I going to use breadcrumbs? Am I going to use bread soaked in milk? Am I going to use garlic? Am I going to use this, that? By the time, and then not only that, then you got to brown them. And I used to brown mine in a big saute pan with olive oil. Then later I started doing it on a sheet pan in the oven in olive oil. But that's another step. Then you got to take them and you got to put them in the sauce, and then you got to make the sauce. You guys did, everything is done. And it's done at the highest level. That's what's so great about it.
Well, and if you look at the customer reviews, right, we're in this for the long game. We're not just trying to sell you meatballs once.
That,
we want
Bill.
this to be part of your staple in your freezer every single week. And you'll probably never go back and buy those meatballs again at Publix, but you'll buy Mama DePanny's meatballs time and time again, because we are going to over-deliver.
I wouldn't feed those look at that. I would not feed those meatballs to my dog. If your meatballs don't look like that, you know what that is? That's flavor right there. That is delicious flavor. It's from the meat. It's from the ingredients that go in. And you could tell just how, when I cut this, look at how tender that meatball is, right? I mean, you really can't show it any more perfectly. It holds together, yet when you bite into it, then it falls apart. And then you taste all those individual spices, that cheese, the garlic, the basil, whatever is in there, you will taste. And again, not over-seasoned. All right? What a lot of companies will do that do frozen products is they will over-salt or they will over-season because the quality of the ingredients are not as good, so they're adding flavor, or they'll add MSG. Whatever they can to make it taste good, you're better off buying a meatball where you know the ingredients, you know the company, and you know it's coming from a place where love started the whole thing. And that's what it's all about, because I know Mama DePenny when she was young, probably when she, when her mom was around and their mom, I mean, this is a tradition that you guys are invited to share. Listen, like I said, I'm not Italian, but I love Italian food. I love it, right? I'm crazy. Most of us are. I mean, who hasn't eaten a pizza or had a pasta, right? So everybody loves it. The problem is you really have to come from a place with a lot of depth and a lot of heart. And your mother obviously was raised that way, and you guys are raised that way. And I love that you two are carrying on the tradition. Because I love the restaurant business, but I'll tell you, it's not easy, guys. You know.
No.
Well, we have great partners. RJ and Jared and Molly Millman are our partners in the business, and they're the best in the world.
And we have an incredible family at all the RPM restaurants. It's all about great service and making people experience something special every time they come in. And that's how we feel about the food. Like, we want you to get this home, and that's why so many things are customer picks, because we want you to get this home and just be like, wow, this is next level. And that's really what we strive to do. But going back to what you were saying, Guy, you know, I was born in Naples, Italy. I moved to this country as a little girl, and I'll never forget my nonna Maria, my mom's mom, Maria, coming to stay with us when my grandfather passed away in Italy. She stayed with us in America. She and I shared a bedroom when I was a little girl. She actually taught me how to pray. So my grandmother is a very special person in my life. And I would watch her on Sundays make gnocchi from scratch. And I would see her make meatballs from scratch and the pomodoro from scratch. It's like, you know, all those memories. And so I just love that we can bring you authentic Neapolitan food right at home.
And it's available on auto ship.
He loves auto ship.
Some of it is. Some of it is. We don't have a lot left in auto ship of any of the stuff you guys carry because people love it. Like, I got a couple hundred left in auto ship. If you want to get the meatballs, and hundreds have already gone out. So you guys are the best. Hang around because, you know, we got meatballs again.
Yes.
We have meat. The meatballs are so good, we're putting them in our other hour so we can get people to enjoy those as well. You guys hang tight. I'll see you in a little bit.
Thanks, Guy.
Thanks, Guy.
All right, y'all. Great people, great people. I finally got to meet Bill. The legendary Bill. I finally got to meet him. Great guy. All right.